Have you ever looked over to see your precious pup gazing so lovingly into your eyes that you can almost see the hard eyes emoji? On the other hand, does he sometimes stare you down like you're a juicy T-bone steak? Well, your pup might be staring at you to express several different emotions, and they can either be positive or negative. Hi there, and welcome to Biscuit and Friends. In this video, we're going to talk about the different reasons your dog stares at you, what your dog is trying to tell you, and what you should do in return. Be sure to subscribe to Biscuit and Friends for more videos like this, and don't forget to stay tuned until the end. Let's get started. First, let's talk about positive reasons why your dog is staring at you. Now, this may seem simple, but oftentimes your dog will stare at you just because he or she loves you. It is an expression of love. Just as humans gaze into each other's eyes, your dog can gaze into yours. In just the same way as it makes us feel good to stare into a loved one's eyes, it feels good to your dog too. I know, having been on the receiving end of a dog staring into my eyes, it can feel good for the person as well. You've heard of the feel-good chemical, oxytocin, right? It is the same hormone that is released when a mother holds her newborn baby and they stare into each other's eyes. Believe it or not, staring into your dog's eyes can release that same feel-good hormone. Another example of a positive reason for your dog staring at you is because he or she is focused on you. They are giving you their full attention. They may potentially be waiting for a command from their pack leader, or they may be in training mode since they've been trained to look to you for guidance and answers. So oftentimes having your dog staring at you is a really great opportunity to take advantage of their focused attention so that you can provide some sort of training or reinforcement that they're doing what you want them to do. Another thing that people wonder about is why their dog seems to pay them more attention and stare at them when they're upset. So you might be crying on the couch, for example, and your dog comes over and lays its head on your lap and gazes up at you as if it understands exactly how you're feeling. Now, of course, your pet can't fully understand your complex human emotions and scenarios, but pets do react to your emotions and our energy. And so yes, sometimes dogs will express something that looks a lot like empathy when they know you're upset. They might come over and kind of give you that extra little bit of love and affection. Now, this is not a problem as long as it is not bothersome to you or intrusive. In that case, of course, you'll need to correct your dog. But if it works for you, allowing your dog to provide you this comfort is certainly a way that many people start to feel better. Feel free to have that moment with your dog to just cuddle each other and allow that oxytocin, that good old feel-good hormone, to release and do its thing. You'll probably both feel better as a result. Next, let's talk about a reason your dog might stare at you that could be positive or negative depending on the situation. That is when your dog is trying to either get your attention or convey something to you. So it could be that they need to go outside for a potty break, for example. If your dog is staring at you because he needs something, in some ways this can be good. For example, they're trying to get your attention to let you know that they need to go outside rather than having an accident on the floor. But on the negative side, it can also be a form of manipulation. Think about when your family is gathered around the dinner table and the dog comes over to the family member who's most likely to give in and stares with those big old puppy dog eyes. You know what happens if the dog stares long enough, it's cute enough. Eventually, someone is going to slip a morsel of something yummy down to the pup. Now your dog has learned that if he stares at you, he will get rewarded. And speaking of dinner time, another type of what I would call nuisance staring is when it's getting close to your dog's mealtime. Let's say the clock is starting to approach 6 p.m. when you normally feed your dog. Maybe it's 5:30 and they're staring at you because they know what's coming. They know it's relatively soon, and that's kind of their way of saying, "Hey Mom, have you remembered to feed me? It's dinner time now." Of course, you're going to have to ignore that behavior until dinner time, unless you want to reward and encourage that behavior. So do your best to ignore it or redirect. So remember to be careful what type of staring behavior you're rewarding. Be sure if the dog is staring at you to manipulate you to be fed from the table or get you to play when it's not a good time for you to play, you need to ignore that behavior. Otherwise, it will become a cue for them to learn that they can get what they want if they stare at you persistently enough. Now, let's get into some of the negative reasons why a dog might be staring. I think probably most of you would be able to easily tell the difference between a friendly, loving stare and a confrontational or aggressive stare. You have probably seen dogs on TV or just out in the world that are staring in an aggressive way. Think about a police dog that is standing guard with a suspect. They might be standing very still with their head down. Their hackles, which are the hairs on their back, may be up. They might even be baring their teeth or growling, and they simply won't break eye contact with the target. This is going to be a very aggressive stare. Dogs may stare in this way when they are feeling territorial. I've seen dogs in my neighborhood stare aggressively out the window as my dog and I walk by. It can be a dog trying to give a warning, such as, "Don't move any further or else." Resource guarding, which is when your dog is aggressively protective of its food or maybe a toy, is often recognized by an aggressive stare. It's usually the first warning sign and may be followed by a growl or snap or even a bite in severe cases. If this is something that you're seeing with your dog, this is probably a good time to get some professional assistance and talk to a trainer or dog behaviorist to figure out how to nip that in the bud early. You certainly don't want that type of behavior from your dog, especially if you've got young children in the home that may approach the dog while they're eating and not be able to recognize those signs that are saying, "Back off." Dogs may also stare due to nervousness or anxiety. Staring can be an early sign that your dog is stressed. It could be that they are not comfortable for some reason, and it is a great opportunity for us to assess the situation and see if we need to take action before things escalate. Now, the last topic for this video is when you notice that your dog is staring not necessarily at you, but at the wall, or the window, or some other space or object in your home. You're not really sure what in the world they're staring at, but they are absolutely fixated on something. Well, remember that your dog's senses are, in general, much more highly sophisticated than yours are, and they may hear something or see something that you don't. My dog happens to be a master bug spotter, so anytime there is a fly or a spider or something scurrying around our house, she always manages to spot it before I do, and oftentimes catches it before I do too. Now, in very rare cases, it could be that there is some sort of neurological issue that's causing persistent, unexpected staring. So we would need to have a veterinarian, of course, assess a dog that is staring in a way that you're concerned about. Just like people, dogs can experience seizures, which can cause confusion. They may be just sort of staring blankly, so a seizure does not have to be accompanied by convulsions all the time. It could be that the dog has some sort of tumor or inflammation in the brain that's causing some neurological changes. As I said, these are all reasons to see a vet right away and have your dog assessed and make sure there's nothing more serious going on. Staring alone can mean many different things, so paying attention to body language is incredibly important. Staring while wagging her tail in a friendly way and the ears are up and relaxed, and the tongue is kind of lolling, is clearly a sign of something positive, either affection or wanting to play. You will know pretty quickly if the dog's mouth is closed, her hackles are up, her head is lowered, or the stance is aggressive, that the dog is stressed or upset about something, and it's time for you to back away and reassess the situation. You know your dog better than anyone, but always remember to seek professional assistance if you feel like something isn't right. Next time you look over to find your pup staring at you, you'll have a good idea of what he's thinking. Thanks for joining us today. And be sure to subscribe to Biscuit and Friends for more great videos about our wonderful furry friends.